So you're linking to this video because you're most likely having trouble writing a thesis. We've gone over this in the course, but we'll go over it again specifically so that it can help you a little bit in making theses for future papers. So if we take a look at what a thesis really wants to do is it wants to make a large argument. This is the argument you're going to prove throughout the paper, and it's going to give subcategories or sub-arguments that you're going to use to prove that larger argument. So if we take a look at this very elementary example, but it's good for the purposes of learning a thesis. It says, Canada is the best country in the world because it offers many great resources such as the following: free healthcare, high quality education, and well-organized cities. So you can see the larger argument that this student is trying to prove is that Canada is the best country in the world. That's the basic thesis. That's what's going to be proved throughout the paper. So how are they going to prove that? They're going to break that down into 3 different subcategories. Those subcategories include free healthcare, high quality education, and well-organized cities. So they're going to have a paragraph on each of those subtopics to help prove how great Canada is. So that's really the way that it's done. If you're writing a paper on digital technology, you're going to tell about 3 reasons maybe digital technology is helping society, or 3 ways that it's hurting society. It's really important that these 3 reasons be very distinct from one another, so that they're clearly, you're not talking about like different forms of communication. You just say communication in general or something like that. So that's really important to remember. Also, the thesis comes at the bottom of the first paragraph. It doesn't all have to be in one sentence with a colon like this. You don't want it to be a run-on. But yeah, it comes at the bottom of the introductory paragraph. So by the time I get to the end of your first paragraph, I should be able to locate, okay, here's the argument that this student is making about this topic, and here's how they're going to prove their position. These are the sort of categories of exploration that I'm going to read about in the paper. That's what the thesis does. So if we take a look at something like digital technology, let's take a look at a thesis for this. Although digital technology has many benefits, it is also harming people's communication skills. In the classroom, these advancements create difficult barriers for today's students to overcome. Furthermore, digital technology endangers people's rights to privacy. So that's a very broken down thesis, because it's saying digital technology is making a massive change in society, and it's changing things in terms of communication, it's changing things in education, and it's changing into rights to privacy. So that's a pretty good example of how a thesis might be broken down. So get in the habit of always having a thesis and making sure that it's at the bottom of your first paragraph and that you're creating very unique subcategories. If you don't have a thesis that's offering at least 3 subcategories, then you're not writing at the level you need to be for this class. In fact, it's also okay to have maybe 4 points or 5 points that you're going to introduce, but you need to introduce those points so that the reader knows where you're going with your argument and where the paper's taking you. So it's one of the most important things to know for this class is how to write a thesis. If you ever need help on this, you can send me an email, or we can set up a meeting either in person or virtually to go over this. But at this point, it's something I've gone over, and it's something you should know, and you really have to get better at doing it. If you have any questions, please let me know.